In 2016, I left Australia for good. That's a weird thing to say. I was born and raised in Sydney. It's my hometown. And yet there are two big reasons why I left that I'm going to talk about in this video. So in 2016, I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand. That was one of the best decisions I ever made. I think for my overall happiness, for the quality of life, standard of living, and even my finances. And I'm not alone. In the last year, 83,000 Australians have left Australia to live abroad. Strangely enough, I'm back here in Australia recording this video. I'm visiting friends and family. And one of the questions I keep getting from different people is, why did you leave? Australia's a lucky country. It's the best country on earth. Why did you leave? And in this video, I want to share the reasons why. So the first reason is simple, the cost of living. So in 2016, when I left, the tipping point for me was I was living in a house with a couple of friends, and I decided I wanted to have my own place to live. So what I did was started looking on different real estate websites at the cost of renting my own place in different suburbs I liked in Sydney. And I was shocked at how expensive things had become. While I was earning a good income as a freelance copywriter, I could afford to rent my own place. The prices were really high, and that surprised me. And things have only gotten worse since then. I was just researching online for this video, and the increase in rent since 2016 till now, 2025, has been over 40%. In fact, they're saying that there is now a housing affordability crisis in Australia because there's simply not enough houses and too many people. And it doesn't look like it's getting any easier. Not only that, if you combine that with the cost of everyday living, like groceries and eating out and petrol, those things have all increased as well. So Australia is one of the most beautiful countries, and Sydney is often ranked one of the most livable cities in the world for many reasons, but it's also one of the most expensive. The second big reason why I left Australia was loneliness. That might sound weird coming from someone that was born and raised here and had a social circle. But like any big city, it was hard to catch up with friends. People were moving interstate, were having families, or themselves traveling abroad, and people being busy and stressed out because of the cost of living and other reasons meant I wasn't always able to catch up with friends. And I felt as a freelance writer, someone that largely worked from home or from coffee shops, I was often working by myself. There are many great freedoms to being a freelance writer. You can work from home, you can choose your own hours, you can choose the clients you work with or when you work. You can also travel. But I felt isolated, I felt lonely, and I started to feel depressed. I don't know if you've ever lived in a big city, but you're surrounded by people, and yet you can feel really lonely. That's how I felt in 2016. So for those two reasons, it was time for me to leave. And it was one fortunate late night conversation I had with a friend that helped me make that decision. So it was late one night. I returned home after looking at lots of different properties around Sydney and realizing how expensive things had gotten. I caught up with my friend Anna for a glass of wine, and she listened to my problems and said, "You're a freelance writer. You could work anywhere. Why don't you go and live and work in Southeast Asia?" And when she said that, a light bulb went off in my head, and I realized that I didn't have to feel stuck in Australia, that I could travel. I then started researching different places in Southeast Asia. Chiang Mai, Thailand came up, and that's a city that I chose. I then packed a suitcase and a backpack, put my things in storage, and I then traveled to Chiang Mai, and it's been the best decision I've ever made. Now you might be thinking, why Thailand? Why Chiang Mai? There's a couple of reasons that I think you'll find interesting. The first one is cost of living. So it's obviously a lot more affordable to live in Thailand than it is in the West. There's a high quality of living. You can have a great apartment or a house that you rent for a really affordable rate when you compare it to the West or even other parts of the world. The antidote to loneliness is real connection. I had friends in Sydney, some close friends even, but I was looking for more. And Chiang Mai has a digital nomad community. It's one of the digital nomad hotspots around the world where thousands of like-minded online workers, freelancers, entrepreneurs from all around the world congregate and live, sometimes for a month, sometimes for many years, to live and work online. And this community embraced me in 2016 when I arrived knowing no one. And I've made some lifelong friends there, people that I still catch up with today, either in person or online on Zoom calls and things like that. I'm just so grateful to have found like-minded people like me. And that's one of the biggest benefits of living as a digital nomad is you get to connect with like-minded people who might work in a similar field to you or just think the same way as you. Of course, you can't talk about Thailand without talking about Thai people. Thailand has the name that's famous, which is the land of the smiles. And it's true. Thai people are some of the most friendly and welcoming people that I've met on my travels. And I've made some great Thai friends. So they're just lovely people. Another reason is the proximity to other amazing destinations around Asia. From Bangkok, you can get to most other Asian countries in a couple of hours. If you wanted to spend the weekend in Japan or in Bali or even Hong Kong or anywhere else, you could do that with a quick flight to those countries. So if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, maybe in a job you don't like, maybe in a location that doesn't feel like home anymore, maybe you just want to mix things up, then you don't have to stay where you are. You don't have to grow where you're planted. You could change things. You could move to another city. You could completely change your life, and you might actually be a lot happier than you are today. So if you're not happy, consider a change. It might not be moving countries. It might be just changing careers. Maybe you're someone who wants to start freelance writing on the side and then consider traveling now that you have the freedom to do so with an online career like freelance copywriting. If that's something you're interested in, know that support is available and it's affordable. So I have a community called Copy Academy where myself and other freelance copywriters talk all things freelance copywriting. And I'm available in that community most days to give you my support, to answer questions, and even review your work. I also offer free strategy calls. If you're interested in chatting with me one-on-one for 30 minutes, you can book a call by clicking on the link in the description to this video. There's also a link to Copy Academy if you want to check that out. But I want to end this video by saying thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on my journeys and in the next video.